WLBB, Carrollton, News Talk, 1330, FM 106.3.
Good morning. Welcome to the Community Voice. I'm Steve Gradick, your host. Delighted to have you with us on this beautiful morning. And we've got a very special guest in the studio that, I think this is her first premiere on Community Voice. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that sounds good. Get a little closer to the mic. We've got Rebekah Claar, Carroll County 4-H Extension Agent, here in the studio, 4-H agent, and we are very pleased for that. And we're going to talk about all things 4-H this morning, which is a treat for me and a kind of a nice break from what I normally do. But Rebekah, this is the first time I met you, so tell our audience a little bit about yourself and how you ended up in Carroll County doing what you do.
Yes, sir. So, so I'm not a Carroll County native, but my husband and I have lived here for almost 10 years now. So
long time.
Yes. So, So we moved out here to let our girls finish growing up out here and attend the University of West Georgia. So we have one that has graduated with a grad degree and is working at Willowbrook with a degree in psychology, and one that is attending nursing school. So we really love it out here. We are involved with the community, and we pick Carroll County out of several counties, and just really love it. And
I'm glad you did.
Yep.
And let me turn this back up. I'm glad you did, and congratulations on your daughters doing so well.
Yep, thank you.
So the next question, of course, is what drew you into 4-H?
Well, actually, I have a background in early childhood education, and so I was kind of looking for a little bit of a change, and I actually didn't grow up in 4-H.
Yeah.
So I grew up in West Virginia, and I don't know if that was a thing. It wasn't something that was advertised, at least, but I started riding horses actually when I was really young, and I've always had a love of livestock and nature. And so when the opportunity came, I was actually kind of looking for a job. Actually, I'm sure you know Miss Paula, our ag agent. I actually applied or was applying to be her assistant, and the 4-H position was open. And so I actually then applied to be the 4-H agent, and all the pieces just kind of fell into place. I really have a love of educating students and education, and so it seemed a better fit, and so the pieces fell into place, and so here I am. So I started this position in 2022, and I'm about 4.5 years in, and so here we are. Here we are
on the radio.
Yeah.
We're also on Facebook Live, and we welcome you to both listen and watch. I operate on the assumption that everybody knows what 4-H is, and that may or may not be true. Is that true? That everybody knows what 4-H is?
No.
Okay, for the poor souls, the unenlightened souls that are listening that don't know what 4-H is, give us the description.
So a lot of people kind of still think that 4-H is just ag. 4-H has actually evolved. So 4-H is a lot of things. So it is not just ag. So 4-H actually in the state of Georgia is a really big thing. So 4-H actually serves about 250,000 kids a year here in the state of Georgia.
What?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. So we have a really strong program here in the state of Georgia. So we don't do just ag. So ag is still a really strong part of 4-H, but we do anything from public speaking competitions, we have forestry competitions, wildlife competitions, to many different things. So it can look a lot of different ways in different counties. And a lot of what drives it in counties is our volunteers. So our volunteers are a big part of 4-H here in the state of Georgia. So we're always looking for great volunteers to help drive our program.
What kind of age kids do you serve?
So we have, I guess, 4 parts of that. So we have our Clover Buds, which is our K through 3rd, and then we have our Clover Leafs, which is our 4th and 5th graders. So really 4-H starts with our 4th grade and 9, and then we have our middle schoolers, and then we have our high schoolers. So we really go from K through 12th grade.
So the 4-leaf clover is your logo.
It is, yes, sir.
But now in Carroll County, you serve, I see, 1,800 to 2,000 students?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's a lot.
It is.
I want to jump in specifically to each of the programs because, like you said, even though ag is a big part of it, there's still a whole lot more going on.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take a break. We'll come back, and then that way we can just go straight through the programs because they're fascinating how many they are.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps you busy, I bet.
It does.
All right, we'll be back with more after these words.
Imagine a place where every heartbeat is monitored with the utmost care, where emergencies are met with swift attention, and where cutting-edge technology enables precise and timely treatments. At Tanner Health, every patient's journey is a testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
Oak Mountain Academy specializes in a customized designed academic approach tailored to meet the needs of our families. Our lower division prepares students with the necessary foundation to build excellence. Our middle division provides students with over 15 course offerings, providing them with opportunities to explore their talents and gifts. Our upper division provides personalized academic journeys, allowing them to achieve their dreams. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school, inviting you to journey with us. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us, where every path leads to purpose.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Community Voice. Very pleased to have in studio for the first time Rebekah Claar, Carroll County 4-H agent. And you mentioned previously before the break about public speaking. Mm-hmm. And I think we all know, and we can all go, and I have gone on rants about young kids, the youth of America who are so cell phone dependent and entranced, if you will, with the cell phone. How is that working out in 2026 to take these young people and teach them how to speak publicly?
So we, as part of our Core 4 program, and we call it Project Achievement. So our Project Achievement program, we start at 4th grade, and I would encourage parents to get in touch with our office. To me, it's one of the best programs 4-H offers. And so we have tried to implement it in our schools. It has been an uphill climb, I will say that. But it is so great. And then our junior seniors, they actually have to do a portfolio and turn it in before Christmas. And then we take them, then they do and start their work on presentations. And then they actually get to go for a free weekend at Rock Eagle in March. And it's I say a little bit of work for a great payoff because they get to go and meet kids from all over the state. If they win, then they get to go to state congress. There's so many great things about it, and the fact that, everyone has to learn how to communicate, and public speak. And you don't get that opportunity anymore.
How are they doing? When you see them do that, are they terrified? Do they stumble all over themselves? Or?
Oh, no, we practice with them. We hold workshops, free workshops. We feed them. We're working with them.
It's a slow kind of...
It's a slow kind of introduction. They're presenting to, a small group, with their peers, with me and my program assistant. We're not just throwing them to the wolves.
Into the water and say,
right,
swim,
right.
baby,
We're not,
swim.
right.
Yeah,
We're helping them through it, so that they're prepared and, they feel confident about it. Yes. So, it's not just like, here you go. Now let's go.
Get in front of 100 people and,
Right. Yes. It's not like that. So, we're helping them. We're making sure that they're prepared. We're making sure that they're ready, and then they're doing really well. And, and this is, in Georgia 4-H, this is a big thing. And the competition is tough, especially with the junior, senior level. And, they need to be prepared and they need to be ready. But, it's something that they need to be ready to do. And, it's in a world where, those kids that can have that skill and are ready, they're more prepared to go into the workforce and be ready to do that. Those parents that are listening, if that's something that they're ready, we're ready to help them.
And they're more likely to get the job and stay
Right.
employed
Yes.
than the ones that
Yes.
cannot.
Yes.
You mentioned something that's almost like, kind of like, it sounds like Disney World in a way, Rock Eagle.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard about it all my life. Don't know really much about it, but what is it?
So Rock Eagle is one of our 5 4-H centers. So there are 5 4-H centers in
Really?
the state of Georgia. Yes, sir. So it's one of our 5. It's the biggest one in the state of Georgia. So it's our largest one here in the state of Georgia, and it's kind of in the middle of the state. So a lot of our 4-H events are held at Rock Eagle. So so a lot of our bigger events are held there. A lot of the cabins have been redone, so it's kind of almost like an event center when you go there. You have like rooms and like a common area in the cabins. So there are air conditioning, and you get to hang out with your friends. So each of the cabins, have little rooms and kind of the common area. And so 4 of your friends can stay in the rooms, and yes, and there are slushies at the canteen, and there's a huge auditorium, and so it's really nice. And there's a lake. And it's great. So the kids love it. There are always activities going on. Typically in the evening, there's a dance party. And when the weather is nice, and it's warm, there's 2 pools. So, it's really like going kind of on a vacation.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yes. So, but Rock Eagle is, one of our, like I said, our largest center around the state, and it's in the middle. So it's easier for several, of our, southern counties to get there, and we hold a lot of our bigger events there. So, yes, sir.
You mentioned that ag is still a important part of all this, and I think the last thing I heard was there are more small farms in Carroll County than any other county in the state. I think that's right, or at least somewhere in the top 3 or 4. Tell us how the ag aspect of 4-H is still in play.
So yes, sir. So we still hold, so 4-H still holds, a lot of shows here in the state. So we still participate in the fair. So as far as Carroll County goes, so I have, we'll be holding livestock camp here at the end of July, to, help Carroll County, because we don't have a lot of show kids anymore. And especially, getting kids, to reconnect with, where our food is coming from, and, how, ethically and sustainably of, connecting with that. A lot of these kids don't understand, where do chicken nuggets come from, especially, these K through 3rd graders. We do a lot of ag education with the city school system, and, going in and talking about, agricultural concepts with them. It's a big thing. So when I first started, we had this concept of this livestock camp of, introducing kids who didn't have access to livestock. So this is year 4 for us for livestock camp, and it has become a really big thing. We actually have a waiting list. So I have 28 kids planning to attend livestock camp. So we actually halter break calves, which I have 5 calves up in the ag center now. And then we bring in sheep and goats, and typically we have pigs as well. I'm not sure we'll have pigs this year. I've had a hard time finding someone with show pigs this year. And we bring kids in for the full week, and we have them handle livestock, and, we teach them from, basics of animal husbandry through nutrition and different things. And this year we're doing it a little bit different. We're going to have different collaborators come in and, teach some different things. But it's important for these children to understand, because, the average age of farmers is much older than it has been. And, people still need to be fed and, understand, these things. So it's important for them to understand that, whether they're showing or not. So, we're trying, to have them, whether they're going to show or, raise animals, they need to understand, how to take care of them. So
I heard over the weekend that I think it was at the turn of the or early 1900s, there were like 60 million farmers in America, and now it's down to like 1.5 million.
yeah.
So when you get these kids and they don't know where the nuggets come from, what's the level of interest? And you've mentioned a couple of times we all have to be fed for them to go into a career of farming and agriculture.
Well, I haven't done a whole lot of research on it, but it's not only just a lot of these kids love animals, and that's the start.
Okay.
But and 4-H is a lot about feeding those sparks, so you've got to meet them where they're at, and you've got to start feeding those sparks for these kids and, increasing their knowledge and their awareness of it. And so it's not just, yes, you love animals, but, do you understand what that means? Mm-hmm. It's not just, yes, I have these animals, but it's, it means you can't just leave them. It's like, this is a daily thing, and it's...
I heard a dairy cow has to be, milked every day, regardless of the day or the weather or anything.
Yes.
7 days a week.
Yep, 7 days a week, yes. And dairy cows typically have to be milked twice a day.
I know. And usually, so you try to do it in the early morning or late at night so you can have a life outside of milking.
Yep.
That's, so it's tough work, but in a lot of ways it's more rewarding than other work.
Right. Yes. And so there's just that, and then to the shortage of, large animal vets right now.
Yeah, we've talked about that a couple times with David Huddleston.
Yep. So I mean, there's a lot of things that, are going into that, and, just helping these kids, be aware and, giving them the opportunity, and to exposing them to more things, of giving them these experiences and, letting them experience it. A lot of times they don't get that. And so, letting them have that too.
Well, we heard for many years, just teach a kid how to code and they can have a job. But AI is going to do all the coding now, so they're going to have to find something else to do.
Right. Yes.
So tell them to go into agriculture. What, Georgia's #1 industry, agriculture, or something like that?
Something, yes. Yep.
Okay, these are just some of the programs. Tell us about, you also have like a gardening kind of?
Yes, we have a junior garden club, yes, that our master gardeners run. Yes, sir. Yep. So we have a junior garden club. We have a horse club that runs through the school year. We have safe clubs that run. So, yes, sir.
Tell us about the safe club, because that's a shooting club.
Yep, that's shooting sport. So we have a BB team, yes, sir, that runs from basically August through May or June. So they placed 3rd in the state this year. We have an air rifle club that is for our older kids. They placed 1st in state and will be going to nationals here in just a few weeks. We have a shotgun club that runs from January to May. So, yes, sir.
So those are like local competitions, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So that's done mainly at the Ag Center, or?
Yes, BB and air rifle meet at the Ag Center, and shotgun, of course, meets in Temple. Yes, sir. Yes.
You had kind of alluded to city students, and so I'm assuming if you get students out of South Carroll County, they've got a little more knowledge than somebody in the city system regarding agriculture, food, horses, animals, livestock, of course. I mean, you're dealing with almost 2 different audiences, aren't you, in a way?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we meet with, of course, we have programs in the city school and the county schools. Yes, sir.
But they're a little bit... The students have a different knowledge level, I would assume. That's an assumption.
Yes. So, we look at each of the school systems and we talk, of course, to the teachers and, what they're looking for. And so then we base our programming on what the teachers are looking for and what the students' needs are. And then we base that programming on that as to what they're needing.
Now, is there some sort of program, and I'm not clear on this, so the project achievement, is there something called a land judge? Or?
Oh, yes. So this past year, yes, we had a land judging team, yes, that won state.
What is that?
So that is where we actually worked with our central FFA teacher, and he had a couple of kids who wanted to come over to 4-H and cross over, and we took them to 4-H, and they did really well in one state. And that is, now this is a little bit out of my spectrum, but basically there is a big hole dug, and they go and judge different layers of soil and different things, kind of almost a little bit like home site evaluation, like it can go into that. But they basically judge different layers of soils and different things, and depending on how well they do with that, then they're judged on that. And that's how land judging works.
Wow.
So,
you said FFA?
FFA, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is that Lucas?
No, that, well, he does do that, but the central one is Mr. Clark Stanley.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's interesting. Mm-hmm. So, got to know your dirt.
Yes, you have to know your dirt. Yes.
Yeah, you can patent that or copyright that if you want. Before we go to our next break, tell us a little bit. We talked about public speaking, but let's take a moment. There's all kinds of personal growth that these kids undergo at 4-H beyond just the knowledge of ag or shooting or whatever. You have listed leadership, ethics, responsibilities, so it really helps as a young person to mature.
Yes, sir. Yes. So all of 4-H, one of our mottos is learn by doing. So, all of these things that, we've talked about so far this morning are, learn by doing. So 4-H is all about them, getting their hands dirty and, not us showing them, but, it's set up for them to, actually do these things. So, them getting down and, getting dirty or, learning to do it. And, by doing that, they're learning these things and, actually experiencing it. And so whether it's a soft skill or, leadership training or teen leadership, and going to these trainings, they're learning these things or being trained to do it. So, they're going to experience it and learn it. And, whether it's set up for the older kids to help the younger kids. So, they're getting that experience to, help the next generation.
Do you ever have the situation, I assume you do, sometimes parents have got a kid, he just wants to stay in the basement, play games, video games, and they say, well, I got this great idea, let's send him to 4-H. Do you get kids like that, and what happens to them when they come into the program?
We do, and sometimes it, takes a little bit more time, but, typically they find their notch or their spot, and so, they find their little batch of friends and their little spot, so, just sometimes it takes them a little bit
having
longer.
that batch of friends, and the 4-H can go all through high school.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
If you have that batch of friends from kindergarten through third grade, and you can maintain that batch of friends all through high school, it really gives you a stabilizing force through a very traumatic, at least it was for me, time of going to school all those years, 12 long years.
Yep.
And I've seen that with my nephews, that they have that circle of friends that, in their case, was in sports, but it's the same principle.
Right, yes.
Have you seen that?
We have seen it. Well, like I said, I've only been here since 22, but, you start to see these kids, develop these friendships, and, it helps them, through, tough times or, develop and make good decisions. So, yes.
Okay, we're going to take a break. We got more with Rebekah Claar, Carroll County 4-H agent, after these words.
Imagine a place where every heartbeat is monitored with the utmost care, where emergencies are met with swift attention, and where cutting-edge technology enables precise and timely treatments. At Tanner Health, every patient's journey is a testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
Oak Mountain Academy is a vibrant community built on innovation, academic excellence, and a 64-year legacy of shaping community leaders. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school at Oak Mountain Academy, inviting you to visit the mountain and experience firsthand the passion, purpose, and personalized education that defines our school. Come see how our mission and vision come to life each day. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us so that you can discover your journey on the mountain, where every path leads to purpose.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Community Voice. I'm Steve Graddick, your host. We're going to close it out to this morning with Rebekah Claar, Carroll County 4-H agent, and delighted to have her in for the first time. We only got a few minutes left. You mentioned earlier in the program about volunteers.
Yes,
Tell us
sir.
about the need for volunteers and their role.
Yes, so our volunteers, so 4-H here in the state of Georgia works through volunteers and the programs that, 4-H here in Carroll County that we can offer. So, because me and my program assistant, clearly can't do it all. So the programs that we're able to offer, we really depend on our volunteers. So to become a 4-H volunteer, it's really pretty easy. So you contact our office and tell us you'd like to become a volunteer or start a program. And then, I'd like to basically sit down and, have a meeting with you, and then you fill out some paperwork and have a background check. And then that's pretty much how we get started.
And your assistant's name is?
Alexis Kemp.
So shout out to her. With doing something like this, you're always looking for financial support, financial sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us what the needs are there.
Yep. So I guess 2 or 3 years ago, I started a sponsorship program. So basically, once a year, this has allowed us to basically send out we have, I guess, kind of a sponsorship drive, and I've put together a package that we basically send out or have once a year, kind of from January to March, April-ish, and we have sponsorship levels that we send out to area and local businesses along with letters, and then if you decide to sponsorship, then we advertise that on our social media. We put that on the back of our t-shirts, and we have a board in the Agricultural Center in Carroll County to recognize those sponsors. And that has really helped with that financial need, so that we're able to help our kids with like project achievement, with our judging teams, with our SAFE programs. So that's really helped take care of a lot of that financial need.
It helps keep the camp fees low.
Yep,
for the
helps
kids.
Scholarships with camp as well, yes.
Okay, that sounds good. And if people want to know more or participate, how should they go about it?
Yep, you can call the office at 770-836-8546. Or you can email me at Rebekah, REBEKAH.Claar, CLAAR @UGA.edu.
So this is all supported by the University of Georgia Extension Service?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, well,
Yep.
Good. All right, well, thank you for coming in. We certainly appreciate it, and hope everybody will... is there a website? That
Yep. You can follow us on social media at the UGA Extension Carroll County. We have a Facebook page, a web page, as well as an Instagram page as well.
And you've got a little slogan here, learn by doing.
Yes, sir.
So you got to know your dirt's off the table now. So
Yes.
it's learn by doing. Okay, very good. Well, that's great. Again, thank you so much for coming in. That wasn't painful, was it?
It was not.
Okay, good. Let everybody know on the record that was not painful. Rebekah Claar, thank you so much, and we salute you for your work, and carry on. It's so important. And thank you for listening. Go out and make it a great day. God bless our troops. And you're in tune to WLBB Carrollton.